It's been a while since I played a vanilla hardcore world, and since then there's been a bunch of new features added to the game that I really need to check out. So today we are back with a brand new video, and not just that, an actual brand new series. Today's goal is to build up the ultimate starter island with all the bits that I'm going to need to make this world a success. And probably to actually survive, I guess. And here I am in our brand new world with a load of leaves falling on my head apparently, and a pig staring at us from behind. Or just showing me their butt. There is a load of new stuff in the game since I last played survival, like all this stuff sitting on the floor, which looks amazing. There's also a load of new mob variants and stuff, but I'm just in a plains biome, so I don't get to look at any of that stuff yet. Hello? Do you want to be friends or something? Well, apparently not. Anyway, best make myself some wooden tools to start us off. Probably just go for an axe and a pick, because I reckon we'll move on to the stony stuff pretty quickly. See you later, dude. And then job number one is to try and make a bed, because I get tired and I need my beauty sleep. Sorry, just taking a sip of my tea. How rude of me. Lads! Lads! Have you seen any sheep anywhere? If you're looking for your mate, he's over that way somewhere. I literally cannot find sheep anywhere. All I can do is find these guys. Sorry. This is actually crazy. I can't find sheep anywhere around here. Ooh. Might not be sheep, but still pretty decent. Let's have a look and see, ow, what we got in here then, shall we? Yeah, a rubbish pick, but some iron nuggets is pretty handy. Ooh, also a shipwreck. Let's grab a bit more wood and then make ourselves a boat. And yes, I'm going to leave a floating tree here because I'm a terror. You can leave me grief in the comments. I don't mind. Right, let's have a look in here then, shall we? What we got? Oh, buried treasure map. Thank you very much. Some useless paper as well. Oh, yeah. And I think I saw another one over here. What we got in here? Oh, nice little t-shirt, some coal, and loads of crops. Very, very handy. Thank you very much, Mr. Shipwreck. Mr. Shipwreck? What was that all about? Oh no, and the sun's going down already as well. We didn't find any sheep yet. Can you get sheep over there? I don't think so. Only the best cows in the game. Let's see if we can find where this buried treasure is. Yeah, I'm not very good at finding treasure in these maps. They confuse me. Uh-oh. This isn't good. Ooh, we're moving towards it. That's good. Hey. Let's go. Ah! Oh man, these new sandy sounds, they sound like creepers. I'm not a fan of that. Right, I reckon it's down here. Let's have a look. Hey, what we got? Ooh, iron. TNT and some fish. Very handy indeed. Right, let's get rid of that. And then I think what I need to do is first make myself one of these, the most OP item in the game, especially for hardcore. It might help if I put it in the right hand though. And then we can probably also make some armor. So I reckon some boots and a helmet to go with our fancy pants purple t-shirt. And then I think we need to navigate this place and find some sheep. Oh god. What do you want? Am I really going to have to deal with mobs before I've even found myself a bloomin' sheep? Ah! Oh my goodness. Where the bloomin' hell did you come from? Oh, come on. Uh-oh. Ah! Oh god. Oh, guys, we made a mess. Right, let's make a dash for it. See if we can find some sheep. Ah! Oh no, spiders! Ow! Oh god, this isn't good. This isn't good. Ah! I'm gonna tower up and get out of the way, and maybe we'll be able to spot some sheep from up here. Well, that's not very helpful, is it? Hello? Sheep? Where are you? This is actually crazy. The sun is coming up and I've nearly completed a whole day and I haven't come across a single blemmin' sheep. Finally! Yeah! Where have you been all this time? I'm really sorry guys, but this has got to happen. Well, that was an epic fail. I'm sorry. If you were a pink sheep, I might have kept you. Right, I think we need to make that bed pretty quick because I don't want to go through that again on the second night. Nailed it! Right, so after getting the first day out of the way, and rather successfully I might add, I want to find us somewhere early doors that we can base ourselves. The goal for today's episode is to build up a proper starter area with a lovely little starter house and all the crops and animals and stuff that we're going to need to get us going in that world. And after wandering around for a little while, I stumbled through the trees to find this beautiful little area with an island in the middle. And you know what? It looks absolutely perfect for what I'm after. Oh yeah, this is the place. We got animals over here already. We got cows, we got chickens, we got pigs. That's one less thing to worry about. No sheep though, obviously. Blemmin' sheep. But this is the little island here. You can imagine us having like a little starter base here with all the crops and everything planted out. We can put builds all around here and you can imagine like bridges crossing over the water to get to them. Oh yeah, I'm loving it. That's it. I've decisioned. I think we need to do this right. I'm pretty sure in Minecraft lore, if you put this stuff down here, it automatically makes it our base now. Home sweet home, baby. Right, I'm going to do some pretty boring early game things, like lighting up this place, probably rounding up some of these animals, and then planting up some of the crops that we got from the shipwreck. And then I'll be back in a little while. And also, I'm going to sleep. Because I can now. I'm back, and I found some annoying sheep from across the river. Come on guys, move those legs fast. You lot can come in here next to our cows and our chickens over there. For now though, I've left the pigs free range. Mainly because my son loves them, so I cannot and will not ever kill a Minecraft pig. I really hope that isn't foreshadowing for something real bad. I've got some of the crops kicking off down here, as well as some sugarcane ticking along quite nicely over here. And I think next up, I want to go out and explore the world a little bit. I only have birch and oak so far. God, that firefly sound just makes it sound like my audio is knackered on my computer. Ah! Oh! Ugh! I guess this little island wasn't as mob-proof as I thought it was. Anyway, like I was saying, the fireflies just sounds like static noise in my ears. But that wasn't very important, because next up I want to go off and explore the world a little bit. I only have birch and oak so far, so some other woods would be pretty good. Over here I can just about spot some dark oak in the distance, and we're also definitely going to need spruce, ain't we? I think it would probably be a good idea to head off and try and get some iron and stuff too, so let's go for a little wander, shall we? So off we went on a little adventure, grabbing that dark oak that we spotted to start us off. Obviously with dark oak now comes pale oak, which I do want to use, but I don't fancy dealing with those little creaking fellas yet, so I slept before popping over there. I grabbed some of the pale wood for the win, as well as some pale moss and some other jazzy bits from the forest. I got some bits from a nearby portal which I would class as pants, before stumbling into a jungle where I got a bunch of bamboo, which I'm definitely going to want for scaffolding, because scaffolding is goated and I won't hear any arguments. I chopped down a massive jungle tree before making my way over to this village that I saw in the distance. That was rubbish as expected, so I yoinked a few job blocks and some books before grabbing hay and a little bit of iron, despite this sheep getting right in the way. Sheep being a problem. Again. I stole this villager's bed, sorry mate, found the smallest savannah ever before going for a swim and forgetting to breathe, which I hear is quite important. That was so I could raid this pretty cool shipwreck that was just sat on the shore, where I blagged my first diamond of the world, as well as some more iron and some OG moss. I used the iron to upgrade my armour, and then in the distance I saw a couple of those spruce trees, which is obviously going to be super important. So after grabbing a bit of that, and with a very full inventory including most if not all the saplings that I wanted, I set off on the long journey back to our little island. Alright, so I'm on my way back home, right, and look at this absolutely gigantic cave that I've just found. It loops all the way around here, and yeah, Minecraft terrain generation is kinda weird. And if we head around this way, as well as a lush cave and some diamonds, there's a mine shaft, which is obviously going to have a spawner. So that'll be pretty useful for XP when we're ready for it. It also has a bunch of these morons floating about. But despite that, I'm going to try and get down there to blag some iron before heading home. Alright, dude. Ow. I'm not here for you. I'm here for this stuff. Oh, bloomin' hell. The gang's coming over. See ya! Ooh, an iron sword. My inventory's a little bit full though. Yeah, let's get rid of that. And that. Oh, it's rubbish. I'll keep the stone cutter. That is a lot of skeletons. Maybe we'll go over this way and see what we can find. Ooh! As well as quite a lot of mobs, there is another mine shaft over that way, which is pretty good because that might be better as home is in kind of that direction. And then hopefully that means it ends up right next to our little island. There is a lot of mobs over here though. Let's spam torches. Geronimo! Oh my goodness. Ugh! Uh-oh. 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 Retreat! Retreat! You guys suck. I'm having a nap. Attempt number 2. See ya! Bro, I'm just trying to peacefully get some iron. Don't need you to get involved. Right, after all that adventuring, we are back home and now just got to drop off all the bits and bobs in here. Except this bad boy though, which I'm going to keep because, I don't know, it's like special or something I guess. I want to get all these saplings growing as well because I don't know what I'm going to need for a build. I'm very close. But let's stick them over here so they don't all get in the way and just be really super annoying. And now that we've got a pretty good solid foundation with trees, crops and iron and all those bits and bobs, I think now we need to start planning out how this area is going to look. I'm thinking a house at the top of the island up here is probably a good shout, and then fields and animal pens and stuff like that coming down the island. But honestly, at the minute, it's kind of hard to see because of all the trees. So let's clear them all out and then we can at least see what we've got to work with the island. Okie dokie, that's done, and I now have a pretty empty island except for a few of the really tall birch trees which I didn't really want to get rid of yet because they look pretty cool. But now we can see at least what we've got to work with, and whilst the terrain needs a little bit of flattening out, I do now have some ideas on what to do. I'm definitely putting the starter house up this end of the island, probably up on this hill a little bit, but the island is going to need extending out this way a smidgen because this bit looks kind of weird. If the house is going up here, then obvs this means we need to sort out these crops because, well, this just isn't working. And also I want to move all of these guys a bit further down there, I think, which I'll probably do in a little while once I've got some more blocks to actually build them a nice big pen. So basically I have loads of work to do to terraform this island, but I have hardly any blocks other than loads and loads of birch logs. So I think I'm going to flatten out a few of the sections around here to grab a little bit of dirt, and then we'll see if we can cobble together enough to make ourselves a bit of a layout. It's done! Finally. Honestly, I was going to time-lapse it, but my goodness, that was very time-consuming and you would find it very, very boring. Instead, you can see that I mined nearly 5,000 grass, which is way too many for this early in a world. This little view might help get a feel for what's changed though. Here is the before shot, and then here is after that 5,000 odd dirt. You can see where we've extended out a chunk to the side where the trees are planted, and I've flattened it out an absolute bunch all across the island. I've etched out a very rough path layout, and I've also gone round and put some signs for where I think things will go. Like, there's where the house is probably going to go. This one over here says sheep, so I guess that's where they might go. Cows will probably go up there, although the pigs are trying to take over. And over here, well, something will go over at that one. But honestly, that is just an idea for now, and we'll see how it goes as I build it all up. And to build it up and to make some of those areas that I was talking about, I'm going to need some of the proceeds of the tree bit over here. Which means a load more of chopping and then waiting for the trees to grow and chopping some more. Oh yeah, please ignore the fact that I basically have a floating island at the moment. So while I do all of that chopping, I think I'm going to grab this bit of string and make myself a cheeky fishing rod. Maybe make myself a little pier to stand on. And then do a bit of chopping and a little spot of fishing while I'm at it. And also maybe make this fishing pier a little bit better than it currently looks. I went a little bit crazy. I did do the tree chopping. I have loads of wood now, which is all stored over there by all the chests and the animals. But I also didn't like fishing somewhere that looked really ugly, so I made this absolute beaut of a dock to fish from. I also made this lovely little fishing house sat by the water, so I can dump stuff in there, and also I can have a little sleep when it gets dark and scary. So yes, I built a whole fishing dock and a house before I made my actual starter house, and I didn't even have signs for it like all these other bits in the background. I can confirm that's a bit backwards, but that's how we do things here. The fishing has been going nicely though. I got the usual fish and all that sort of stuff, but I've also got a pretty reasonable bow and also a saddle, which will probably come in useful at some point. Actually, do you know what? It's useful now, because I can use this to save my little legs and transport me to the other side of the island for what I want to do next. Actually, this is a lot slower than I kind of thought it was going to be. Actually though, you know what? I like you, dude. You are now my new sidekick on my little island. This little one defo needs a name though, right? You know what to do? Hit me with some name ideas in the comments and we'll name this dude in the next episode. Anyway, as I was saying, basically all that tree chopping was a huge grind and I went through an absolute ton of iron axes. So I'm going to dig myself a little mining area just here across the river and see if we can get ourselves down to diamond level. My spade broke. But like I was saying, to upgrade a couple of my tools. Eventually I think we'll make a little entrance over here and then probably a bridge to get over from the island to the other side. But for now, it's digging time, which means we're going to dig. Okay, bye. Well, we made it safely all the way down to -58, which I think is meant to be the best level for diamonds. You might have noticed that on the way down, I ended up digging right through a mine shaft. I got a little bit impatient and I poked my head in there for a bit. And I think I could class that little trip as absolutely flawless. Ah! Ah, blooming skellies! Ah, my shield! Oh no! Oh, they're so annoying! Ah! Run away! Run away! Oh my god, they're so annoying. My sword! My sword! Ah, this is bad! This is bad! Run! No! Oh no! Not the babies! Go away! Like I said, flawless. Honestly though, it might actually be the best mine shaft ever. There are loads and loads of dungeons and spawners knocking about, like this skelly spawner, which will maybe be a good source of bone meal later on. Also, if I follow my signs all the way around here, we literally have 2 cave spider spawners right next to each other. So when I'm ready to make a really easy XP farm, this is the place. I got all this loot while going around, so some nice music discs, a pretty rubbish book, and also, most importantly, some beetroot seeds, which means I've now got all the crops sorted for our island. But also, luckily, because this mineshaft was so low down, while running around I got a whole bunch of diamonds, giving me a grand total of 43 of the buttes. So obviously that means I can make myself a load of nice diamond tools, And also a nice full set of diamond armor. And all of that means there is no way in hell I'm doing any strip mining right now. Oh no. So after that pretty hectic detour, it's now time to start filling out this very bare and sad looking island. And the first job is to move all of these animals into a slightly more permanent home. Which is exactly what I did, starting off with this fancy stony number to house our friendly neighbourhood sheep. After successfully moving them in, it became apparent quite quickly that I'd messed up and they could just climb out anyway, so that was pretty great. After being rudely interrupted by these morons, it was then on to an actual massive cow pen. This time I went with a wooden circle vibe, which doesn't actually look much like a circle. I did, however, blend it into the water, which I was quite proud of, and something else I was quite proud of was how it came out after finishing it all off. Finally it was on to somewhere for the chickens, where I made them a little chicken coop to hang out in, before then trapping them into their new home. That didn't last long, however, as I messed up that one too, just like the sheep, because apparently chickens can just climb over trapdoors. Here's my sad little face when I realised that heart-crushing truth. But after that we are all done and our little starter island is beginning to come together. The only issue is some of the animals didn't quite make it into their pens. Or made it out of their pens. That's much better. Only the pigs are allowed out because they're nice and chill and the other lot are just really loud and annoying. What is that cow doing? But now the island's all cleaned up and I'm able to top up my food supplies, I reckon, seeing as all the animals now have a home, maybe I deserve one too? And just like the sign says, we're going to put a house up here so we can look out across our island. But I think that I need a few bits and bobs to put that together. Which means it's time to grab some bits and bobs. Bits and bobs are resources, by the way. So after spending time grabbing bits and bobs from the junk I'd already collected, it was time to get the final few little blocks. That included doing a bunch of stripping, rinsing a couple of dungeons of their mossy cobble, and a little bit of tuff from the mineshaft. After wiping out a geode of its calcite, it was time for some moss, and then to very carefully get some honeycomb from a nearby bee house. And now, with a couple of chests of materials ready to go, we should have enough to get a house started. And step number one for that is some stony foundations. Apparently, I missed the chicken. Those stony foundations are now done with a little gap for a door to actually get into the place. And now step one is done, I guess that means that we should probably do step two. And for that we've gone for a bit of a sprucey frame and then filled in the walls with a load of calcite and a bit of diorite chucked in for a bit of texture. Which I think is looking pretty decent, but there's one thing that we can do to make it look even more decent. Yep, a roof would be pretty useful, right? So on went that famous roof, which was a really nice mixture of jungle, granite, bricks and the odd bit of dirt in there for good measure. Once that was done, we whizzed round and chucked some details onto the thing, which meant that we now have an absolute beaut of a starter house all finished off. And an absolute beaut is exactly what this thing is, looking proper nice standing at the top of our island. And before I quickly take you inside of this thing, we have a bit of a problem with the animal pens. Because we've got a pig and a dancing cow who apparently want to be chickens. I can see we've got an absolute ton of sheep who want to be cows, some of which who are struggling a little bit in the pond. So maybe that was a bit of a design flaw. And perhaps most disturbingly of all, a bunch of blooming pillagers who apparently want to be sheep. I mean, honestly guys, can you not think of anything better to do than mimic yourself as sheep in my beautiful sheep animal pen? Hey, see how happy that makes them to get rid of them? They're celebrating! Anyway, back to the house, and you can see I've even done an interior. So we got a load of furnaces and stuff for cooking. We got some chests over here to store our bits and bobs. Okay, busted. They are all empty at the minute. And all the junk is still sat out here gathering dust. Baby steps, yeah? And moving upstairs, we've got an absolutely lovely bedroom with a bed and yeah, that's about it. So actually half an interior so far, but we'll finish it off at some point, right? But more importantly though, we now have a lovely house Some really nice animal pens. Some nice pillagerless animal pens. But we do have a lot of empty space that we need to fill to finish off this island. So enough chatting, shall we finish it off then? And here we are, our ultimate starter island, all finished off. Alright mate, it took a little while to finish this thing off, but you know what, I am pretty happy with this place. Just adding all of our crops and stuff all around here really fills the place out and makes it feel proper homely. Even if it did take quite a long time to actually get enough seeds to do that. How did you get out? And after filling it all out with the crops, we've got the big centerpiece in the middle of the island, surrounded by all the paths of a beautiful pond with some actual fish in there, like an actual pond. So all in all, I reckon this place is going to give us the perfect start to this world, and I am already very excited to start building up all around this place with the island as the middle of our little town. If you have any ideas on the things you want to see, then make sure you drop a comment to let me know. And like the video. Oh, and subscribe. I'm greedy. Soz. Anyway, it's getting night time, so that's your lot from me. Thanks for watching. Ta-ra! Oops.